Oh, well, hi there, and welcome to Author Talk with Iris Glass. Today I'm bringing you a very special guest, the Queen Majesty herself, Miss Amy Lane. Now, before we get started, I need to let you know that most people are afraid to ask Miss Lane the real soul-bearing questions. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm not afraid to go for the jugular. So let's get to it. Now, Amy, let's get real. You have stories and books ranging from science fiction and fantasy to contemporary romance. Some of them make you laugh and others require a Costco-sized box of Kleenexes. Now, what makes me wonder is, do you think all the plethora of voices in your head might indicate something?
Oh, so you're asking me if I have a mental disturbance because of the vast array of my work. Probably. Yes, there probably is something very disturbed about my mental state.
Yes, dear, I assume so.
But the fact is that I've always seen life as a continuum. I've always seen happiness and sadness and the high and the low. It's all one part of the wheel. You know, we have the ups and we have the downs, and the hard part is finding the things that make us, keeping that strength during the hard parts and staying grounded during the happy. So I guess that's what my, if I do have a mental disturbance, it's that I tend to see it in terms of that big wheel of time. That I know most of the rest of the world focuses on the little tiny, that it can only be happy or compartmentalized sad or compartmentalized paranormal or compartmentalized fantasy. But I guess my grasp of the membrane between the worlds and the emotions is that the division seems so very sheer that they're almost not there.
Life on a continuum. Oh, Amy, honey, slow down, dear. You got deep fast. This isn't that type of show. I think what you were talking about was something about boxes. And you wrote a story about boxes, if I recall. Going up or going down. I do like going down. I think it was going up. It was about elevators. Boxes, elevators, same thing. I almost hate to ask this after the last question, but who in their right mind would write a story about elevators? Were you stuck in an elevator when the idea occurred to you?
I've never even gotten laid in an elevator, but I have established a routine where I walk around the block or walk around my neighborhood at a certain time every day, and I see people, and breaking out of that, hey, how are ya, to an actual friendship. That's an interesting line. Where do you cross that line? And that is where going up came from, was that daily occurrence of running into someone. And do you know when you're going to run into them? What if it is love at first sight? How are you going to ever see this person again if you're in a high-rise elevator? So that was a question I was asking.
Oh, crossing lines and getting laid in an elevator. There's your Queen Majesty herself, Amy Lane, everybody. She's a classy one. Kind of like me. No wonder I enjoyed going up so much. Well, let's switch continuums. Remember, we talked about that. Now, I simply adored your novel, Beneath the Stain. So much rock and roll, but there was also a lot of drug use in that. From what I've talked to other authors, or what I've learned from talking to other authors, is that they tend to write what they know. Now, I haven't seen any Amy Lane singles on iTunes, so that knocks out rock and roll. There's only one more option in that novel. Something you think your readers should know, Miss Lane?
Oh, Iris, I'm so glad you adored Beneath the Stain. And yes, there was a lot of drug abuse in that book. People always want to know if I, in particular, partook of the drug abuse. And honestly, my husband and I were always passers in college, pass the duty to the left-hand side. But my family My students, I've known a lot of people who did not just pass. And I never judge people on their their chemical partaking, because life just sucks sometimes. But I really do like to see people get themselves out of that place. It very often the chemicals only make it harder. Drug abuse only makes it harder. And so I want to see them get better.
Oh, there you go, getting deep again. You might be the queen who has getting lucky in an elevator on her bucket list, but you are all heart, Amy Lane. Just a lamb. And it's easy to see that online too. The things you post about your family, it's clear how much you love them and how important they are to you.
Yes, my family is extremely important to me, but part of that is my philosophy about romance and about one person's actions making a difference. We make a difference in the people whose lives we touch, and you don't touch anybody's lives as strongly as you touch your families. My older children, college age, are proud of me. It makes me a little verklempt. My younger children think I'm famous, which is hilarious because not so much. My husband is proud of me. My parents wish I'd find a job teaching, and they really don't know how to deal with what I do for a living anymore. But I guess that's always parents. Parents are always just a little bit skeptical about what their children are doing.
Well, Amy, honey, you can't quite blame your parents. It's not like you've moved past writing as a hobby stage yet. You need a certain number of titles available before people will consider it a job. You're probably close. How many books do you have available right now?
How many books have I written? I stopped counting at 50. It looks like I've written a lot more because for a while I was writing novellas, and those got added up into larger volumes, and all of that goes on pages like Goodreads or Amazon, and so that makes counting hard. But I've written 50 actual novel-length books, or more, and I write between 600,000 and 750,000 words a year. I don't think of it in terms of how many books do I release a year. For example, I wrote 260,000 words in 2015 that aren't going to see the light of day until 2017. So mostly I just keep swimming. I write because I love it. I write until it's finished. And then I start the next one.
700,000 words? Now, Amy, honey, maybe you'd have more books written if you spent a little more time writing instead of counting all those words. No wonder people don't think you're past the hobby stage. You're getting close. I would imagine. Don't count words. Do you have any new books coming out, or are you just counting?
I have a book called Selfie that's going to be released in April, right about the time of the Romantic Times convention. I'm looking forward to this. I enjoyed writing Selfie. Every now and then I'll write a book in first person, and for some reason those are the ones that just clutch at my heart the most. Maybe it's because writing in first person you identify more with the narrator. Not always though. It's just Selfie is one of those books that I felt was special when I was writing it. It's about a closeted actor whose lover has died, and he is picking up and starting over again, and maybe deciding to not live his life in the closet anymore, and that's going to be hard for him. Again, it's coming out in April 18th, I think, is the official date, and I'm really excited about it.
Oh, that sounds like a box of tissues book to me. I'll have to make sure I have my waterproof mascara on. Now, let's have a little fun, Amy. Turn loose. What state would you want to get rid of, and why?
I don't know. I think the state of crazy that keeps producing these puckered, angry, self-entitled white politicians who think that they're the shit. I would really like to get rid of that state. Maybe it's a state of entitled consciousness. Maybe it's a state of wealth that makes them think that they're better than the rest of us. But I am not happy with all the people who um, who keep crapping on women's rights and civil rights and LGBTQ rights and basically everybody's rights but theirs. I think that state has to frickin' go.
Freaking go! Yes, preach it, you girl on fire. State of entitlement. You're gonna make me have to buy a dictionary, Amy Lane. There you go, being all high and lofty again. I have to hand it to you, Miss Lane. You are evading my dirt questions, I'll give you that. Well, once you've gotten rid of the state of whatever that was, let's bring it to a little more local level. What goals do you have for the gay romance community?
My hopes are for it to become a part of the much larger romance community. I would dearly, dearly love to see our best romance writers to be ranked right up there with the New York Times bestsellers that we see when we go to Walmart or Target. That I would love to see gay romance everywhere. Like you see suspense, het suspense, or het paranormal. That is my dream.
Become part of the larger romance community and be New York Times bestsellers. Really, Amy Lane? Really? You could have gone to be the best gay romance author in the universe, but no, world peace for everyone in the gay romance world. I really need to lower the caliber of guest I let on the show. All right, Miss Lane, let's see if you can make this heartfelt and touching. What song would best describe your work ethic?
What song best describes my work ethic? Oh dear. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Every day I sit down to write, that's hallelujah. And even if people don't get what it is I'm writing, it's still a miracle.
Lord, you are a box of Kleenex monster. A heavenly voiced box of Kleenex monster, but still. Well, while you're in a generous frame of mind, Amy Lane, how would you rate me on a scale from 1 to 10 as an author interviewer?
Iris, my dear, I've never had so much fun on an interview, so I would definitely rate you a 10.
Yes, well, I'd have to agree with you. That is true. Well, Amy Lane, thank you so much for being with me today, even if you did manage to get by without tarnishing that halo of yours. Well, you might have noticed last time Poppy Dennison had me over for dinner. And let me tell you, that halo broke a long time ago, so we had a wonderful time. You gonna take a note out of her book, Miss Amy Lane? You gonna invite me over for dinner?
Oh, Iris, I love you too much to invite you over to my house. I think we should go out to drink. Do you think? Let's go out for drinks and some better food, like a big steak. I will take you to a nice steakhouse and we shall have some lovely steak.
Drinks, you say? I just might get that halo of yours tarnished yet, Amy Lane. Absolutely, I'd love to go get some steaks and some drinks with you, dear.
Yes? You want to go? Oh, that's fantastic! Here, I'm going to go dress up for you because, darling, you're too fabulous for me to go just in my everydays.
Oh, truer words, dear, truer words. Although, if I'm having dinner with the Queen, maybe even I should dress up a little. Maybe another flower. Well, Amy, I will be right over. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail and we'll go have some drinks and see what we can do about that halo of yours. Till next time, goodbye everybody.